We are live. How y'all doing? And welcome to the show. This is Say What? And this is an introduction from the one and only 1/6 Scale Man Productions, 1/6 Scale Man YouTube page, where we bring you nothing but the best in 1/6 scale collectibles and any and everything pop culture. But today, it's all about the pop culture, a little mix of collectibles, but we want to kind of talk about a bit of controversy. I welcome everybody here. I'm glad to see that, everyone's available here with me. Now, I'm trying to basically see here that you got to bear with me because, like I said, this is the first live official show, we're kind of diving in. We're going, I'm not going solo because I brought some guys with me and I'm going to introduce them right off the top. We have none other than my man, my mellow, Will Foxification. What's going on with you, bro?
Bro, thanks so much for having me, man. I appreciate being on the first live stream, inaugural live stream. This is so exciting. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of this.
All right. No problem. So basically, what we want to do, we're going to go to the next, and we're going to call him. I want to actually call him the enabler himself. He is basically the inaugural enabler. My man, the enabler 5000, Brennan. What's going on with you, bro?
Not much, man. It's good to be here.
Oh man, I'm glad to have you here, bro. Glad to most definitely have you here. So let's now I want to basically, now you, like I said, you guys got to bear with me because we're going to go in and we're going to address the chat. Okay, so as a matter of fact, Will, since like you're the vet, can you see the chat right now?
Yeah, I can see it. Let me see here.
Yeah, I can see.
I can't share it though. That's the thing.
You can't share it?
Yeah, it has to be you. Like, so basically, if you click the comments tab in the very top right-hand side, you can click like share comment, and then you can like see who's in the house.
Cool. Let's basically see how we can do this.
Yeah. But if not, if you can't do it, then I'll just go through and be like, hey, here's
yeah, just go in because, like I said, you got to keep in mind, like this is brand new to me, brand new live. So I'm gonna have Will kick it off since he's the vet here when it comes to this type of thing. So
no worries. So we got Brenton in the house saying, "What's up, guys?" We got Bob Dylan stating, "My son is already here." That's Bill Wolfification Jr. So that's not me, by the way. So people say that because it's not. So I have no idea who it is, but they took a photo from my Facebook.
They did,
page.
Yeah. They took one from your Facebook, right?
Yeah, they did. So I'm flattered, but also concerned. So we got Gabriel Munoz in the house, Alvin J, the collector #1, Philip Toscano saying, hey, Danny Lee from Collecting Weekly, amazing crew there. Collector Zone in the house. Collector Zone said, I've been told this group of hooligans were coming online. So very exciting. Ninja Squirrel, single songwriter in the house.
I'm sorry, wait, Ninja Squirrel? That's
Ninja
awesome.
Squirrel. I think I've seen Ninja Squirrel before. Ninja Squirrel 30. Like Ninja Squirrel, definitely make yourself known because I'm pretty sure I've seen you plenty of times.
I'm gonna know now.
Mark Pearson, Mike Mose, and we got a full crew here tonight, and Collector Zone here, so that's cool too. So that's pretty much it, Layout. That's pretty much all the comments for now. But there's plenty of more, but everyone's usually like repeat commenters. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, most definitely, I'm glad to have everybody here on this show, live show as it will be. Now, I promise you the next time we come on, you will be more professional. But like I said, we're kind of jumping the gun here. I'm jumping the gun. I had a lot going on today. Work comes first and then this one right here. So we're kind of glad to be here. But let's just find out what's going on with everybody. So Will, what you do today, man? You got anything new?
Bro, you know what I got new, and it's because of you. Because Brendan's been rubbing off on you, and then you've been getting in the same habits. You're the enabler. Brendan, he tell you the Mysterio I got? It's because of Lael.
Oh, I would. That's one that I'll give him a little bit of a pass on. As much as he likes to call other people out for being an enabler, I'll give him a little bit of a pass. Just because as soon as that figure dropped, everybody realized how amazing it was, and everybody that held off, like I held off. I didn't pre-order it right away.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna wait like a couple of weeks because I have another set of Maji cases coming next month, so I'll be able to spread some stuff. Because I just got, I got 2 today, and I've got like 3 or 4 deliveries in the last week. That I've got like right here with me. So I'm trying to space them out a little bit.
Yeah.
But that Mysterio is, I can't really blame him for that because that's
Right.
not like convincing somebody to get something that's like borderline. That thing
No.
is gorgeous.
Oh,
I
dude,
saw
I
your
got
stories about like that might be like your favorite of the year so
Dude,
far.
and it's one of my. Lael said it's one of its top 5 figures. Period, dude. It's creeping up there for me. I put it like top
It
shelf
is.
center. I mean, like it's incredible. So guys, if you
It
if you haven't pre-ordered
fits.
that, definitely think about it.
It fits so well because you can have it with the the Tom Holland releases from Far From Home, but you can also put it especially if you go. I mean, me personally, I think the Jake Gyllenhaal sculpt is actually really good, but I would go with the bubble. I'd go with the dome. That's just the classic Mysterio. But you can put that with any of the PS4, PS5 video game ones, and it works perfectly.
Yeah.
So there's so many possibilities for displays there. Also, I just want to shout out to
There's so many possibilities.
Terry Smith. Oh, just heard myself there.
Yeah,
it's an audioception there.
A little shout out to Terry Smith, who apparently is scratching his armpits in the chat. I don't know.
That's what he said, Lael. So hey, posing guys, I don't know what they do in their free time, but who knows? I guess scratch their armpits.
Is that the most recent delivery that both of you guys got?
Yeah, I got that. Well, here, Lael offered me another delivery actually, and it wasn't a figure. So I forget who it was, but he said someone said that I was attractive, and I'll never forget that because they said I was attractive for a white dude, though, and I was like, I'll take it. I mean, it's not perfect, but I'll take it.
Was it his cousin? Because I've gotten that too.
Oh, okay. So it's
the cousin, and then it's friends of friends.
Wait, was it the same cousin?
No.
For me, okay, all right.
Not the same. Not the
It
same.
must be a bald
She's
guy
got a
thing,
type.
Brendan.
She's got white bald men.
Not the type.
So I'm flattered. I mean, So
Wait, so what
I'll put that in my
delivery-
match profile.
What delivery? Did you just mean the comment?
Yeah, it was a comment.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all it was. A self-confidence booster. It was a delivery in that form.
I gotta give a shout out to somebody who convinced me because I was a little bit on the fence because it was like a new company, their first kind of release.
Yeah.
But this first contact data from X06
That looks good.
is really nice. It's hard to tell. Like Brent Spiner is a hard sculpt, I feel like, to nail. And this is actually really, really good. So thank you to Marcos from Collector's Own. Because I grabbed that. I got that last week. And then you saw the pictures that I posted today. The armor and that bumblebee. Dude, that bumblebee is like one of my favorite collectibles now in my collection.
Dude, it's
real?
amazing how that happens. Yeah.
Dude, this thing is amazing. And
It looks
you know
great.
me, like I'm the same as you, Lel. Like I don't really mess with the light up features on figures because it's just like I feel like, well, especially I think the last one I actually really tried to light up was Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, and I was like, oh no, screw this. That was just it was getting me so mad trying to get that arm, that lightsaber arm. It was just it was absolutely brutal. So I just kind of gave up on that. But this is the and kind of credit to Terry because I wasn't really going to light this up. And then I watched his video on it and saw how good it looks lit up. It's so damn bright. Like
that is pretty bright. Yeah.
It's really,
That's almost
really good.
So it's basically, so what you're saying is once you put it in a DTOF, you don't really need LEDs. Is that what you're saying right now?
First of all, I have transcended the DTOF, okay?
To module cases.
Okay.
Well,
Let's
say
Look
for
at the battle
those
eyes.
who are in the up and up, and he's in the up, what we going to call him the bougie category. He has now the module cases. Now, also, ladies and gentlemen, as an enabler, he did force me to get module cases, which I then passed my wisdom on to Will. So hopefully he will excel to the module cases himself. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm still embracing the Enabler 5000 name because you guys like legit. If you're a Transformers fan at all, whether it's the Bay movies, whether it's the original cartoon, whether it's the Hasbro toys from the 80s, if you're even a remotely close to being a Transformers fan, the premium scale from 3.0 is an absolute must. Absolute must.
There's only one more layout that I'll drop in here and then I'll be done. So you guys probably saw I actually picked up, thanks to Optical 20, one of our best bros. I got because I love Breaking Bad, 3.0 Walter White. Dude.
I saw that you did pick it up.
Like surprisingly really great. Like, I mean, because 3-0 can be hit or miss with their face sculpts, but like this one, damn. I mean, like, it's Hot Toys quality. I mean, and no doubt about it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a little bit of there's a seam that's visible on the side of the head a little bit. It's kind of blended in fairly well, but it could be better. But if you put the hat on him, totally not noticeable. But
I remember the
love bringing it
stream. I remember the stream where he was telling you, no, you really got to do this. And then I saw it in your stories that you actually did pick it up. Right. I was like, oh, okay.
I got it for like
Optical sold it well.
Yeah, I got it for like 170 shipped. So I mean, it didn't cost me much at all. So
oh, really? Did you buy it like on eBay or?
No, I bought it from a seller on Facebook. I forget the guy's name. He was super nice. The thing was brand new, basically. He had it in storage. So I mean,
what was it retail?
I think it was like 150. Yeah. So basically over retail, yeah. But there's one I'm looking at now. Thanks to I'm gonna blame Lael for this too. It's probably not his fault though. But the solo Darth Maul, I'm looking at that. I might pick that up. So.
You have to get that, dude. That's the best Darth Maul that they've made.
Phantom Menace is incredible.
The legs on that.
Yeah.
If I have 3 Mauls, I have the Sideshow one, then I have the DX that Hot Toys did from Phantom Menace, and then I have the Solo one. If I could only keep one, Solo. Yeah. I would get rid of the other ones. I mean, I'm not going to, but if I had to, I would.
So anyway, Lael, that's it for me.
Okay. Well, since the enabler has already told us some of the stuff that he's actually gotten in and what he loves. The thing is, I'm not in the category with you guys because, like I said, I've been fighting against the system the whole week. I don't get, well, actually, let me see here. We have the rescue armor coming next week, finally. And then actually also I have the armor coming next Tuesday or next Wednesday. So that'll be here. So I'll be able to kind of, deal with that. This week we got in Mysterio. So I've been on this Mysterio kick all week which we're going to get into. We're going to get into that later on. I have my feelings on it. I'm pretty sure everybody else who has it has their feelings on it, but we'll get into that. But yeah, like let's kind of dive in on a few different topics. Now, right off the top, I want to kind of start with something that just dropped a day ago. We're talking about it a day ago. Okay. So in case, you guys didn't know, there have been, and people who are watching right now, a bit of a controversy, a bit of heat that's going on in Disney right now with, the woman who I am, based off of my fiance, I am allowed to actually have a crush on and say that that's my Hollywood crush. ScarJo. Well, no, let me say she doesn't like to be called ScarJo. So we're going to say Miss Scarlett Johansson.
If that's your one allowed by LaToya, then you better tone down the Fennec Shand.
That's different. It's the figure. That's different. I'm in love with the figure. I love the figure. Okay. I love the character Fennec Shand.
That's what they all say.
Okay.
To the point where he said he's getting 3. And one of them is going to be a hood ornament in his car.
So you just gonna put my business out on the street like that, bro?
Yeah.
You gonna
say now? It's out there.
It's too late. You a snitch. You know what I mean?
It's not like you haven't said that on like 17 other live streams before. I'm just repeating your own words, but
anyway. So I'm gonna bring this up here. With Will's assistance, I'm actually bringing this up here. So, first off, our first topic is going to be Scarlett Johansson versus Disney. Now, for all of you who don't really know what the situation, of course, Scarlett Johansson is in a bit of a lawsuit against Disney because sort of like a breach of contract. Wasn't even it was a breach of contract. Whereas, she was promised certain residuals, and at the same time, she was told, or based off the contract, they weren't supposed to release it on in the was it the Disney Plus format?
Yeah, it was supposed to be an exclusive
theatrical release and theatrical run. But Disney basically tried to, or they did release it in there. What's it called? The Disney Premium?
Yeah.
Premier Access. Yeah.
Premier Access. So they released it basically on Premier Access. Now, the problem with that is this is, a breach of contract, and there's no way you can actually get around it. Now, what Disney is actually saying is that, she got paid a substantial amount of money. Why is she upset at that? Well, the thing is, yes, she got paid based on the theatrical release, but that deal was kind of cut for the simple fact that they did the premiere access and she gets no residuals from that. That's what's messed up about it. Now, I'm gonna pass this around to you guys because I just want to actually hear your sentiment. You know, I know we have a few people in the chat, you know, that are basically talking about it, and there's a few more people. And like I said, I think, you know, Disney sat back in the wings while you know Warner Brothers was going through like their turmoil and stuff like that. They just sat back, and you would have thought that, you know, looking at that situation, that you would have cleaned up your home. You would have been like, you wouldn't. We're just going to clean up the actual house here. But that didn't happen. Like this is basically what we're dealing. And look at my. Let's a moment of silence for the beauty that is on this screen.
I was gonna say she's not dead, but I guess the character is. But
the beauty that's on the screen right now. But anyway, getting back to it, like I said, this is a situation where, you know, Scarlett is dealing with you know, this issue, and I want to pass this to the guy. Do you think that, you know, it's within her rights to do this? Do you think that she's privileged because of this, or what do you think this is? What do you think is? What's your opinion? I'll throw this to you first, Brennan. What do you think?
So
do you think that she has legs to stand on in this one right here?
Yeah. So I was actually talking about this with Josh Wolf, the comedian that you and I are gonna go see next month, Leo. I was talking on Zoom with him earlier this afternoon, and we were both talking about it. We were both on the same page, but he basically said, he's like, look, it doesn't matter. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, she's already got millions. Like, who cares? Like, and yeah, she's got more than most people will ever have. But the bottom line is, it doesn't matter if you're dirt poor or if you're a billionaire. If you were contracted for something and somebody tries to take that away from you when you have a contract for that, they're trying to steal from you. It's a principle that nobody likes being stolen from. So it doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or if you've got $10 in your bank account. Mm-hmm. If something is legally promised to you, you have every right to go after it. The other thing too is that look at, you know, I mean, how many Hollywood careers have you seen? Like A-list goes down the toilet in like a week's time, you know, a couple bad movies, or you do something stupid in the press, whatever. You never, like, tomorrow is never guaranteed. So you want to get as much money as you can now. And if the market deems her valuable enough to, at that rate, if, you know, she has a contract that says she's going to get that much, then that's what she gets. And if she gets screwed out of that, she has every right to go after, you know, Disney for it. Because ultimately that's what they promised her. And it's, I mean, same thing with an athlete. It's like, you know, a guy wants to get as much money as he can in whatever contract he's about to sign, because tomorrow he could blow his knee out and have to retire at 29. Then what do you do for the rest of your life? So yeah, I think she can go after them. It also broke today that like Kevin Feige is super pissed with Disney. One, he was against doing Premier Access in the first place. So he was super pissed so it's not like there's a war between Marvel and Scarlett Johansson. It's more, you know, Disney, the parent company, and, you know, and Kevin Feige is actually pissed on behalf of her. But now they said that Emma Stone is also considering joining a lawsuit against Disney because of Cruella. And the thing is, and then so is Emily Blunt, which they literally just today released Jungle Cruise with The Rock and Emily Blunt on Disney Premier Access. And both of those actresses are supposed to return in sequels to those, whereas Scarlett Johansson's not. So it's not as big a deal for Disney and Marvel with Scarlett Johansson. But now maybe it is going to be a little bit of a big deal with, you know, with those other franchises where they actually have planned sequels.
See, and you know what? I'll give my sentiment, because like I said, I want to pass this same thing to Will, because like I said, I'm interested in your thoughts on this situation. And here's the thing is, it's like you would have thought in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you know, it's not even Bob Iger anymore. What is his name? Bob K. What's his name?
Bob Chapek. Yeah.
Chapek. Yeah, that's how you pronounce his last name. Bob. You would have thought that there would have been, you know, you're seeing you see basically the breakdown and that took place with Warner. So you would have thought that you would have been 10 steps ahead of that situation, and dealing with this and knowing that, okay, cool, we have Premier Access, we can actually see how successful it is, but at the same time, looking at this as in a whole, if we see that there were certain failures, certain things that they've actually failed on, and we have actors, and the thing is, it's not like she's, just came into the MCU. We're talking about a seasoned vet, someone who was part of, just the kingdom that was established within the MCU itself. You would have thought that if anybody, she would be treated like royalty, and not that she probably demanded it. It's just the simple fact that with, this is someone who's been like, heading your flagship. You'd have thought that she'd have been treated better. So that's just, it's kind of interesting to me.
I think she would have if she was still, if the character was still alive and she still had legs like going forward in the MCU and was important to their plan. I don't know. Maybe they kind of, if this was not even talking about gender, but if this was like, Chris Hemsworth, where they've got more movies planned with him, if it was, another actor who still has a future in the MCU, I think it would have been different, especially given the fact that, Warner Brothers had to negotiate, like they had to pay an additional $200 million to various like actors and directors and stuff like that, because of all their whole slate in 2021 going on, HBO Max. So Disney should have seen that and course corrected.
What do you think about it, man? What do you think about all that's going on?
It's a crazy situation, honestly. I feel like, and I was actually listening to John Campea talk about this, and like he was kind of giving me some information as a guy who really knows the industry pretty well. Like, this is definitely the way he described it, and I totally agree. This is like the first crack in Marvel's armor that we've really seen. This is like in terms of like, because for the longest period of time, it's been like everyone's been winning. Like the MCU's been doing great. Everyone's making money. Disney's happy. The actors are happy. Marvel's happy. And this is like the first time really that we've seen like really dissension in the ranks. And that's due to Disney based on the information we currently have available. No doubt about it. I mean, if she, like, I think of it this way. If her contract says that she's entitled to a certain amount and from the box office revenue, and there's certain benchmarks that would have been met if not for the release of the film, and the contract said that the film was going to be released, specifically in theaters only, exclusively, then there's a breach of contract. There's nothing to debate. I mean, whether we can discuss the merits of home streaming all day in terms of like whether it was a good move for Disney or not. It wasn't, by the way. But none of their films are, because there's just so much money they're losing. I've said this a bunch of times now. Like, there's I get people like to watching movies at home. I totally understand. Some people with the movie theaters are annoying as fuck. I mean, like, I'm sorry, like I get it, like they really are. But like, I totally understand. But it's just a matter of like, there's so much money left on the table when you're doing these home releases. Like, I get they made like 60 to 80 million at home, but how much more could you have made at the theater? Like, I mean, it's like, think of it this way. Like, people were having parties, right, to watch Black Widow, and say one person pays $30. You might have 10 to 20 people at that house, right? Like, how much more would you have made in ticket revenue if you had those people all in the theater? Like, and I think the idea too that like, that theaters, like, people don't want to go back to the theaters right now. I don't buy that, because I think that's been disproven already. I mean, like, I think the fact that Black Widow did as well as did in the theaters, Quiet Place 2 did really well. Like, Godzilla actually did pretty well, and that was even sooner. So I mean,
I don't know if that's. I mean, I don't know if I'd say that everybody is ready to be going back.
Not
to the
everyone,
theaters.
but
not in the same numbers as before. I don't know if it would have. I don't know if they would have made more money.
They would have.
I don't.
No doubt
all right.
about it.
Yes, I think they would have. I don't know, given the state of the world and the fact that like now we're seeing a bunch of spikes again and more restrictions coming back in. I don't know if it would. I don't know if it would have been that much more than what we have now. I know personally, it's like, I'm vaccinated, my wife's vaccinated, but my two kids are too young to be. So I got it on Premier Access because I was like, I'd rather be able to watch it at home, because it just, and I'm not a hypochondriac or anything, but I'm just like, I've got two young kids. I'd rather just not invite any additional risk in. So I'm just going to not go to a theater, because I'm in Boston. So it's like, the theaters, it's like they get pretty packed, and I like to have some room to stretch out on a regular, movie. Never mind during a pandemic. So I don't know how many people, we're going to go back to the theaters to make a big difference on this. And so I think it's a matter of how much more money would they have made for this individual movie, right? If they just did a theatrical release and not on Premiere Access. And I do think they would have made more, but you have to weigh that amount for that one, theatrical run versus, well, how many subscribers are they adding to the service by putting those things on there? Because now they're bringing, it's like, well, this person, maybe people weren't really subscribed. They've shown that like Disney Plus, their subscription numbers are going up. So it's about weighing the long-term benefit of that platform versus the short-term financial gain of the movie. Again, I'm just posing that. I'm just putting that out there. I don't know the answer. I don't know which one is more profitable. I think Disney is this is uncharted territory, and so they're just they're just betting on what they think will be more beneficial to them. But clearly they just tripped over a rock on how they handled this. Whether regardless of which one ends up being better business in the long run for them, this was something that it's like you just stepped on the end of a rake and had it come smack you in the face. Like you should have seen it. And especially after Warner Brothers and their backlash. I think it was just a stupid move, regardless of which way you go.
And there's so much that you could get into with that for sure. I mean, just my take on it. Like, I just feel like I do really want to give credit to Scarlett Johansson. The fact that she, and I heard this talked about, it's so true. The fact that she promoted this movie as professionally as she did, knowing that this was going down. She
did, yeah.
Like, I mean, you got to give her serious credit for that. Her professionalism was off the charts. I mean, like the fact that you never heard about this ever until now, until the movie's pretty much, midway through its theatrical run. Like, dude, like you got to commend her professionalism. The fact that she didn't cause a big stir before the movie came out, because it would have cost everyone money. But no doubt about it. I mean, if it's in her contract to be an exclusive release, it's in her contract. There's no doubt about it. There's nothing to talk about, whether it's COVID or not. Like, it's in her contract. So, like, you have to do it, basically. Or if not, what they did with Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins, they just compensated them. They're basically what they'll do is they'll say, hey, here's what the film probably would have made in theaters, and here's what your cut would have been, and they'll just pay them that. So they keep them happy. That's what they probably needed to do here. And the fact that Emma Stone is now probably going to sue as well, this tells you that this is not a one-off. I mean, like, people, and this is
no, definitely
and
not.
You knew, Brendan and Leo, you both saw, like, the Warner Bros. Thing. Actors and directors were pissed about that.
Christopher Nolan was like leading that charge.
Was pissed. Like, I mean, like, they were all mad because they were promised their film was going to, like, again, be released in theaters exclusively, and then Warner Bros. Just pulled out the rug from under them, like, and didn't tell anybody. So,
And I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to say, it's clearly a breach of contract. I have no idea, and there's so many legal loopholes and stuff. So I'm not going to say for sure. To me, regardless of the legality and who would win the court case, first, and somebody else had said that kind of like, well, Disney's, just too big and too powerful to lose. Their lawyers are going to. They're losing in the public eye. It doesn't really, even if they could win the legal, and I guarantee you this isn't really going to go to a drawn out legal proceedings. They're going to figure something out with Scarlett Johansson quietly behind the scenes, and they're going to have to do the same thing moving forward with other actors, but they're going to do that. This isn't going to be a long drawn out kind of thing, because it's more a PR pain in the ass for them. And they realize that, well, they didn't anticipate this when they should have. They're going to try and fix it and move forward. But this isn't going to be like a year-long protracted kind of like legal thing in the papers. I guarantee you in a month, this is going to be dead. They're just dealing with a PR black eye right now.
Right. Well, my thing is like, I totally understand. Like, I'm definitely not a lawyer either, but I do have faith that Scarlett Johansson would not intentionally disrupt her career for no reason. Like,
absolutely.
She doesn't want to be portrayed as difficult. So, like, her suing a studio is not a good move. I mean, unless it's completely justified, which it sounds like it is. I mean, like, she has never been one to, rock the boat. I mean, like, she has always been a team player, it seems like, from everything we've heard. I mean, so I just don't feel like this would be an illegitimate gripe based on that alone. And
it's not a ploy because she's trying to make a bunch of money because she went all Nicolas Cage or Johnny Depp and bought a couple islands and something and now owes a bunch of money.
And another thing too, like, and I see, some of the comments saying like, and I totally understand the idea, like, not everyone is having 10 plus people premiere watch parties. But again, think of it this way. This is how it was explained. It totally makes sense. Even if you have 3 people watch party, you paid $30 for that film, right? So like that's still losing money because a ticket generally is like $15 in most places. You know, the national average is around $15, right? So like even then, and most people with Marvel movies, they go back to see it more than once.
I was just going to say,
you're
I
not
go
paying for
every
it more than
Marvel
once.
movie that I've seen in the theaters, I've seen at least twice in the
Exactly.
theaters.
So they're
But then there's
losing-
my wife and my daughters. And
right,
so like,
exactly.
yeah.
Plus, like there's just like you have that movie forever, and then now you're not going to buy the Blu-ray because you already have it. I mean, like you already have the digital. So I mean, like again, and it's going to be on Disney Plus too. But like again,
Dude, you still have space to hold physical. I had to switch to
Oh yeah,
digital.
I
a long
do.
time
I
ago,
love
man.
Blu-rays.
Between collectibles and my kids, I can't fit can't fit physical Blu-rays. I had to.
But that's the thing, Brendan. Like in layout too, I just feel like the streaming thing, it's great for the fans in that you can watch it from your home. Like I like that too. It's nice, but I do prefer the theater experience. But also just from a business perspective, like I don't think this is going to be something that's going to last in the immediate future because once COVID's over, the actors and directors are not going to stand for it. It's just not worth it for the studios because it's like these actors. It happened with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt with Quiet Place too. I mean, like it's happening all over the place because these studios are trying to do this, and the actors are like, no, this is in our contract. You can't do that. Like so, and they're losing money. Everyone's losing money, really. So they're trying to prop up their streaming services, but at what cost? Like,
Well, that's why. And Emily Blunt, with like you mentioned, with A Quiet Place too. Well, it's also relevant with the movie that just came out with her and The Rock. So she's got kind of a twofer there. So I'm sure she's going to be pretty vocal.
It's supposedly
in the whole
Disney's
thing.
last planned premiere access. You know, here I'll stop sharing layout. But it's supposedly Disney's last planned premiere access for now. So we'll see if they continue that trend with other films. But if COVID starts to hopefully slope downward, then I think you're going to see exclusive releases again.
But it's starting to trend back up right now. So that's why I think that's why I think there might look. We're going to get one of two things: some of the fall slate. Some of the back half of 2021 slate for Marvel and Disney, and it's either gonna be delayed again outright, or they're gonna go premiere access because, I mean, in the fall, like as numbers are climbing back up right now, and then in the fall you've got kids going back to school. You know, they just said like now you get like less severe symptoms, but that. Now with the Delta variant, you still can get sick. I mean, you feel like crap if you're not hospitalized, but you can pass it on to other people even though you've been vaccinated. So now, like everybody's kind of like freaking out again, and I think that's going to hit theaters hard. I don't think we're going to see that many theatrical releases in the fall. I really don't.
I hope not.
That sucks.
So
I don't want that to be
already.
the case. I want stuff to, be better. But
we'll see.
I'm not saying that to like start a debate on COVID and vaccines or anything like that. More just that I think there are going to be more turbulent times for how these releases are handled. And so far we've seen 2 major movie studios royally screw the pooch on this.
Yeah.
So it's like somebody stop stepping on the rake. And figure out how to get through this unscathed.
Yeah, you know what, and I think at the end of the day, man, like I mean, I'm really interested to see how this is going to go. Considering the simple fact that when we watch, we think of Disney and we think that especially with the MCU, especially with Star Wars, Lucasfilms, we think of how stable that ship had been for the longest time. Now to arrive at a situation where now we're seeing certain things kind of implode, and we all see it now. It's visible. But the thing is, even because Scarlett's professional about this, because she could have said something a long time ago. She could have actually spoke, but she still did the press tours. She still basically showed up for interviews. She still went live with certain things. Even on her Instagram, she was basically supporting the films. So that's what I'm saying. She was still highly professional about it. But again, I'm hoping that, listen, it's like when it's under new management, things change and not always for the best. And if you piss off, Kevin Feige, Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like that's certain things you might want to actually think about before you kind of jump in that wheelhouse.
That's the problem for Disney right now is even if they don't have anything else, Marvel or otherwise, planned with Scarlett Johansson, because Kevin Feige is so pissed and he's valuable to them. Like, I don't know if there's been a producer that has been more valuable to a studio than Kevin Feige right now.
I don't think so.
And the fact that they also want him to start dipping his toe into Marvel, into Star Wars, you do not want to let that guy go, because I feel like you let that guy go, Warner Brothers will
they'll be all over him.
They'll scoop him up.
Whoever is going to oversee DC, I forget who bought Warner Bros. Didn't someone buy Warner Bros. Or something? Maybe not. Someone's going to control DC.
Yeah, they were up for they with AT&T. I can't remember who owns them.
Aren't they part of Discovery or something? No, is it Discovery?
It might be.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be taking over, but like basically they're going to. I heard they're going to
Discovery
go for Kevin Feige.
is with Warner and like HBO Max, and then it was Nat Geo that was with Disney Plus.
Dude, could you imagine Kevin Feige going to DC?
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
That's what.
Hey, shout out real quick. A special shout out, because I just seen him in the chat. Shout out to Terry Smith. I mean, my man, my mellow, my mentor, the person who taught me. He doesn't want to admit it. So he's the one who taught me the method of posing. So I've watched all his posing videos on, how to be a poser. He was gracious enough to sell me his Hellboy. So I'm so happy about that. Shout out to Terry Smith. Everybody give Terry Smith a big shout out. I'm glad he's here, man. So thank you for coming through, Terry.
He sold me my premium format Kylo.
Yeah, and Terry also is going to be in the future doing a live stream with us where we just geek out on comic books.
Oh, I can't wait.
Straight, that'll be good education for you. So you should still be here for it.
You have to come through for that.
I've never read a comic. I need to. I like the
movies.
Are you
shitting me?
Yeah, I never read one.
You got to come on through, bro. You got to come on through. When we read one. As soon as we get Terry on the show, and actually anybody out in the chat, as soon as we get Terry on the show, come through. It's going to be a tremendous show. I can't wait to get Terry on the show. That's my man, Mello. Seriously, everything I know, I learned from him. So, all right, I want to actually segue into my next topic. Now, this one right here, this is huge. This right here. Listen, I have to say, like. I got this figure in, and the thing is, it was already at the top of my list. It was already something that, I knew I was going to get. It was pre-ordered day one. Just couldn't wait to get it. When it came out like it did, I was surprised. But it's one of those figures that you have to actually have in hand to truly, truly appreciate. One of those figures that I have now officially added on my top 5 list of top 5 best of show of all time. That's how great this figure is. And that
not just best of Marvel, like best of all across the board.
All across the board. Okay. Literally having it in hand, because this figure brings in so much presence, bro. When we'll tell you once we bring it up, it's so much presence with this figure. And it is none other than your boy Mysterio. Man, look, this figure right here, and the thing is, like, you have to really appreciate it once you get it in hand. You have to really understand once you get it in hand how incredible this figure is. And the thing is, it's not, to me, there is not one issue with articulation. It does everything that I needed to do, especially when it comes to posing. Hint, Terry, you give me some more. You got to give me some more pointers on that. But anyway, when it comes to posing, like, it hits point that, I didn't really expect it to hit. Just, everything from articulation to, just the paint apps. We'll get to the head sculpt later. Just the stitching, everything, the material, everything down to a T is Mysterio. Like, I was so impressed with this figure. I just couldn't hold back. So, Will, I'm gonna pass it to you, because like I said, I have my feelings on it, but you got it as well. I got it at the beginning of the week. You know what? And it was crazy, bro, because that was fast.
Yeah, mine arrived a lot faster than I thought it would.
Yeah, bro, like you got it fast, and you know, shout out to Toys buying agent.
Yep, that's yep.
And I did put the link in this
good old
video
Tim
where you
Cent.
can actually,
Yep, good old Tim Cent.
Tim Cent is on top of it when it comes to this. But shout out to him. This figure is phenomenal. Will, how do you feel about it, man? Since you basically got it in around the same time, what do you feel about it?
Dude, it's incredible. And like, I'm glad you shouted out to his buying agent. Like, I am all for people having options. I don't buy from Hong Kong much because typically there's a big increase in price. But every now and then there'll be a good enough deal where you can get it early where I'll go for it. Like, I think all about shopping around. It's all about shopping around. Find the best price for yourself. If you pre-order, it's even better because really sometimes it might be like 20, 30 bucks more shipped than like say Sideshow, for example. Like this, I paid like $40 to $50 more, but I got it now compared to like, 3 months from now. So like normally I don't do that, but this figure layout I did because honestly, this figure I saw, the pictures and I was really, this one I'm most anticipated even beforehand. When I got this in hand, man, like it really does have a ton of presence. Like this is honestly, it's so hard because like this has been a pretty solid year so far. We haven't had a lot of releases, but the ones that have been released have been pretty good in my opinion. At least the ones I picked up. Like I love the Rise of Skywalker Kylo. I love that Rey, but like this one, it's just incredible, man. I put it top shelf right in the middle, honestly, because put him in a flight pose, put him in a standing pose, whatever. He has so much presence. Like I mean, like. I haven't even messed with the head sculpt, but actually the head sculpt in hand, it's honestly really good.
Yes.
It's not perfect. I wouldn't say it's a 10, but I honestly would maybe go to like a 9. Like I think it's actually really really And
I think it looks a lot better in video than photos that I've seen so far. I've seen some video. I'm definitely getting it. I just haven't picked it up yet. I'll probably get it in a couple of weeks, like I said.
Dude.
But I've seen video and I'm like, oh wait, that looks way better than the photos that I've seen. It's one of those. I think it's similar to when Rise of Skywalker Rey came out. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, that looks horrible." And then once people got it in hand, they're like, "Oh wow, that looks amazing."
Yeah, dude, it really is, man. Like, and the wired cape, I mean, the armor, it just looks incredible. Like Leia's right, it does articulate really well. One thing I'm just careful with, I know Leia, you're a little bit different than I am. Like, I'm always careful about creasing the suit. So I think this is one of those tight suits. So I got him in a pose where like his left arm is just straight, so it's no pressure on the suit, and his right arm's out, so like it's really not putting much pressure either. So like there's no creasing going on. So I would say be careful with that just over time, but I'm sure it will rebound if you do. But honestly, I haven't even messed with the light up effect because layout. I didn't want to pull off the helmet. Yeah. So. Sorry, Ben, you were lagging a little bit, but I messed up. Sorry if I cut you off. But like the helmet layout, I know you can do it. You can pull it off and put the batteries in. There's a flashlight in the neck, but it feels very gentle, very fragile, and I don't want to rip the helmet off and pull it off. So I would say be careful with that when you get it. But overall, guys, this figure, like, I mean, if you don't have it on pre-order and you're interested in getting it, I would highly consider it. Like, I love the character. I love Jake Gyllenhaal as an actor. So like, I couldn't pass on this. Now, as I told you, Leia, I kind of regret selling my upgrade suit Spidey now, but it's fine. I mean, like, it's fine. I still have the tech suit Spidey, and I love that one the most. So, I mean, it's just, but Mysterio, no doubt about it, dude. The figure is incredible. Like, Hot Toys, and the fact they gave us a sculpt at all when, like, they teased it and then took it away and then gave it back. Like, I credit to Hot Toys. I mean,
definitely credit to Hot Toys for this, man.
They deserve so much credit for this figure. I mean, like,
this is innovation, bro. This is what we basically wanted out of figures. Like innovation enough. Like when we talk about, them, pushing, going beyond, stepping out of their comfort zone and giving us figures that, pretty much we want but didn't I would have never thought in a million years that we would actually get a Mysterio figure. So I'm happy that we did.
Yep.
And it's just again, it's so much presence. And I already know, Brendan, the enabler 5,000. You should actually say, Brendan, the enabler 10,000 or 2085. What do you think, bro? And I know you're going to get it. You got it on pre-order, right?
Oh, I think Leo's Brendan lagging for you too.
He's lagging a little bit. You're lagging just a tad bit, bro.
One thing I will say before Brendan goes, Leo, two things.
I might need.
Brendan, hold on, you're lagging a little bit. The chest does not light up, guys. So like be aware of that going into the figure purchase.
Yes,
like the chest
yes,
does not light up. The
yes.
helmet does. The seam does not bother me at all. So some people have
Yeah.
complained about that. I understand. They kind of had to put it together that way. For myself, I don't know about you, Lael, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, it's you don't. The thing is, it doesn't bother me because he probably came out. He'll probably be back in. I'll get him in when he comes in. Yeah, it doesn't really bother me at all. And that's the thing. At first, I thought, and you know what? Because when I pre-ordered the figure, I never thought that we would actually have a light up feature in that globe. I didn't. I really didn't think that it would actually be a light up feature. I thought that if we did have a light up feature, it would actually be with the armor. You know what I mean? The armor and the gauntlets. But then to actually have that illumination, you have to have a black light, that black light system that you got with Black Panther, as well as the Iron Spider from the video game, or the Spider Armor, the Iron Spider Armor. Yeah, like man, the seam is it's nothing. Like the seam is unsightly once you turn it on. You don't really, it's not one of those things that you're gonna really have too much of an issue with. I know I didn't. Just getting it in, man, like seriously, like let me see. He said his device not connected. Is he still trying to get in? We'll connect the device. Yeah, he's trying to
pop up on the bottom.
Yeah, he'll pop up at the bottom. But yeah, like seriously, like this is phenomenal. I see in the chat that a couple people have actually gotten it, or they're waiting for it. But trust me, once you get this figure in hand, like there is no question that you'll fall in love with it. And the thing is, it's like even with the Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh, here he is. I think he's back. I'm adding it to the stream. You back, bro?
He's loading.
Yeah, I think he's loading up. I just see beard.
That's all we see.
Yeah, that's all we see, beard and
Boston
freaking face in a Boston hat. So
yeah, it might still be lagging.
Yeah, it's lagging just a tad bit. Are you there?
Yeah, he's lagging.
Yeah, it's lagging a bit, man. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I mean, if for anybody who's watching, and if anybody basically, if you have any expectation, if you have any hesitation on getting this figure, please.
I think I'm still lagging.
Yeah, you are,
Brendan. Yeah, you're going in and out.
You're coming in and out. I don't know what.
Might have to restart your router or something.
I can hear you, but I'm lagging a little.
Yeah, you sound like Max Headroom right now. Hey Terry, if you're in the chat, man, tell everybody about Max Headroom. School them. But no, honestly, like this particular figure, by far, like it was something that I really didn't see it coming. As far as once you got it in hand, I was like, okay, cool. I get a chance to really complete the Far From Home line, and we finally get this figure in. I can actually add him with the advanced suit, stuff like that, or upgrade suit. But man, like this thing, like literally, and you know what? Honestly, like you don't even need just the effects like that, like his effects. I don't use it. I didn't actually pose it with him, because he just has so much presence alone. But the stuff that he comes with is warranted. Like you don't need much, but everything that he actually has with him is phenomenal. Like I love this figure, man.
Dude, I put him with one of those effects, the pyramid effects. Like, and it looks fantastic, dude. It really does. Like, I mean, and do you know what I love layout too? I don't know if I can find it in the pics here. Like the smoke on the base.
Yeah.
That. At the bottom there, dude, I love those.
Bro,
like they
right?
add so much presence to the piece. Like that is such an amazing inclusion.
And if you have it in the right lights, it does look like it illuminates. You know what I mean? If you have it basically if like you have the right LEDs flashing on it, man, like it's a
base done right. I mean, they're separate though, guys. Like you actually can put them wherever you want. They're not attached to the base, so you can put them however you want with the smoke effect and customize it. But they honestly, they look incredible. Like layout, man. We're both gushing over this figure. It's just incredible. Like, I mean, Hot Toons killed it. They really did.
It is. Like, I mean, seriously, they could do no wrong with it. I mean, I'm glad that we finally got. Did he come back in? I think he's still. Yeah, I don't see him yet. But I'm glad. Here he goes. I think he's coming in. How you doing now, bro?
Still loading.
Still loading up.
Huh? Yeah, still lagging. Yeah,
I know, but I'm glad that you sound like you're using auto tune right.
I know.
You sound like auto-tune right now, bro. T-Pain.
Auto-tune.
You sound like T-Pain right now, bro. But yeah, no, seriously, like anybody who's currently on the fence right now about getting bigger, get off that fence. You can order it. You know, I know quite a few people actually have him on pre-order through Sideshow. I know there's a couple of people that might actually have him on order with other outlets. Again, you know, we're here to basically share ideas and, you know, support either resellers, main, distributors and stuff like that. Whoever you got it through, once you get this figure in hand, you know.
All right, I'm gonna.
Oh, he's disappeared. He said like 2 words. He's like, I'm gonna, and just logged off
and logged out. Okay, so now here's the thing. We're going to come out of this one right now. And I know that people in the chat actually have thoughts about it. I think one of the biggest things is, and I was going to make this a topic before, but I'm gonna try to save this for like the next discussion. One of the biggest things that I want to tell people is when you get production photos, okay, so you get prototypes, you go from prototypes to production. You have to keep in mind that sometimes when you get these photos, sometimes the photographer can oversaturate the heads, like they can oversaturate the figure with so many different effects, you know what I mean, like filters, that it takes the quality away from the actual head sculpt. So it's better to honestly watch, you know, you'll get like a lot of people who will have like tutorials, videos that, you know, that they'll actually post, they'll have reviews. Wait till you see those review videos sometimes before you actually draw your conclusion, because sometimes those video or the photos that we get, the production photos, they don't do it justice. Once you get the actual review videos, you know, you can actually get a chance to actually see it. You know, if you see it through Unsealed Revealed, through Sideshow, if you see it basically through a lot of YouTubers who, you know, actually have the figure and they get it in hand earlier, you know, just judge it off of that, because you get a more of a close-up look, you know, at the head sculpt, and you'll get a chance to kind of view it from there. Because I know we've got a lot of hit and misses, but I guarantee you that this is not a miss whatsoever. It's not a miss. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. And you know, yeah, just get it, you'll love it. I know I do. I know my man Will does. And everybody in the chat, if you have this on pre-order, you will not be disappointed. He will. And the thing is, he's so good, he actually goes with not just the IP, like the MCU IP. You can actually even get him, you can put him next to like the video game
Sinister Six, right?
The Sinister Six. I actually have unlicensed figures of the Sinister Six, or actually no, the Sinister Four, I call them right now, because there's only 4 of them right now. Once we get the other 2, which I'm guarantee you we will, then yeah, you know, it's going to complete everything for me.
And I think someone was mentioning in the comments, like, we're convincing them to get it. Again, I always say only get it if you love the character. Sometimes you can get a figure like that's just a bomb figure and like you don't always love the character, but the figure's that. If you're like one of those people, then yeah, this figure is probably for you because it's amazing looking. But I feel like you have to love the character. Like Mysterio was incredible to me. He's not dead. No way. No way.
Nah.
Even if he is, he's coming back through multiverse. They're not getting rid of Jake Gyllenhaal that quickly. No way. And Mysterio's too cool, man. He's too cool of a villain. He was like manipulative as hell. Even when he died, like he still won. Like he still was like, he put out the video. Like, yeah.
Exactly. So look, again, you heard it from me. You heard it from Will. Get this figure. You won't be disappointed at all. You'll love it. Okay. I think we got him in. All right, here he goes. My man, my Mello, you back?
There we go. Now you're not lagging at all.
So I had to use my my old MacBook Pro because we have like the M1, like the new silicon chip, but they haven't updated it to be able to work with my Sony camera as a webcam. And that it's an old laptop, and so it was shit in the bed, so I had to switch to my wife's new M1, but that, because they haven't updated it, I can't use my professional camera, so I just had to switch and use the webcam on this, and so now it's working.
Okay, cool. So now that we got you back,
annoying.
now that we got you back, what is your thoughts on the Mysterio figure, bro? I know you got it on pre-order. I know you got it coming, Mr. Enabler 10.
I'm gonna, yeah. See, I think it's it's honestly, it's the perfect example of what I see as the difference between Marvel Hot Toys and like Star Wars Hot Toys. And I have the armor that I love Star Wars Hot Toys. But if you just look in your collections, everybody who collects 6 scales, just look in your collections. Marvel is much more colorful. It's much more vibrant. Star Wars, they're great figures, but they're more muted, like grays and browns and greens and black cloaks and stuff like that. Whereas you got Spider-Man and Iron Man and things like that. And this to me is just the epitome of that like shelf presence that Marvel has. And as I look at, this case behind me, and it's just bright with tons of color. And it's just eye-catching, and that's what Mysterio is. I mean, the colors just pop. They work so well. They don't, I think they can work with just about anything in your display. Yeah. And I think what they did with the kind of smoky illusion effect in the dome, I'm sure you already talked about that while I was gone, but like, I think that is amazing how they did that. So it actually has this 3D kind of effect, and it really looks and feels like there's actual like smoke in there. And I think just everything that they did, every decision they made, the wiring of the cape, which I don't know why they don't do that on every figure. But yeah, this is a home run, and it's like a home run plus because they didn't have to throw in that Jake Gyllenhaal head sculpt. Most people kind of figured, they're not actually going to do it. And then when they did it at the last minute, boom, all you did was earn favor with people. So I think it's a home run.
Yeah, definitely a home run. I can't wait to get it in hand, bro. I seriously can't wait to get it in hand, bro.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, just don't add it to your spank bank. Okay, so we're gonna
what did I miss while my computer shit the bed and I had to switch?
Nothing from me, Leo. That's all him, dude. That's Optical and PJ's influence, to be honest. I'm the good one of the group.
I thought we were gonna get through a stream with no like.
Yeah, we will.
Feed the meat, baby. Feed the meat.
Like, we will. We will.
Post in the chat, guys. Feed the meat.
Thank God my kids are asleep right now.
Yeah. Next up, this is a figure that I know y'all have been waiting for centuries. What, 7 years now? 7 years now? 4 years now?
Did you just go through puberty? What just happened?
Yo, my voice is going like this because, like I said, you know what? This is my exhaust. This is the voice of sheer exhaustion. I'm exhausted right now, bro. I am so exhausted because of the simple fact that we have been waiting as long as we have for this figure. We finally got a chance to see it. It was one of those things where, we didn't know for a while if it was going to actually come. There were speculations. We thought that we would actually see it during the Toy Fair exclusives. We thought we would actually see it during the Sideshow Con. We thought that we would see it during the Tokyo. I think actually no, because we are seeing not the Tokyo, but the what's going on in China right now? I forget what it's called.
There's ACGHK.
The one that Queen Studios is at. China Joy or something.
China Joy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I honestly thought that if we did see Cyborg, it was going to be at that DC event in August that they're doing. I figured it's either that or bust.
Yes.
So I was surprised when it was like a random like Wednesday night at like 11:30 like Eastern time, where it's just like all of a sudden they just dropped that in the Batman XE suit on Facebook. I was like, wow, that was just, I thought either they're gonna be stupid and not do it, or they were gonna do it. But like, I thought they were going to put more fanfare into it. Be like, okay, well, we really heard you and make a big deal out of it. Yeah. A random just kind of like drop on a Wednesday night did surprise me. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I just thought that they would have tried to give themselves a little bit more of a pat on the back. Be like, hey, and make a big deal out of it. Like, DC Fandom or something.
Yes. Yo. So... somebody said, who is it? Emilio Lopez said Hot Toys is like, now shut up about Cyborg. That's true. Yo, that's absolutely true. Like,
I've heard people saying, okay, now which one are we going to focus on next to try and get them to hear us and then finally make? That's what I've been seeing. People have been like, all right, which one next? except that one guy who just keeps saying reissue Mark 46.
Mark 46. I'm
That's
surprised.
like everyone at this point. Yeah.
Exactly. But you know what? Seriously.
How many did you order? Did you order multiple?
Who, me?
Yeah. Well, both of you, but
I only got one, but
I got 2.
See, why are you putting my business out? You just keep doing it. You know my girl's watching this, bro. You know
Toya will understand.
She's watching right now, man. Like, come on,
she's
you
not
know
gonna have a problem with you getting 2. She's probably gonna make you get like 8 Landos when that one comes out.
I'm considering getting that figure, by the way. Yeah.
What, that Lando?
It looks fantastic.
It does look good. It does look good.
And we're not getting another one probably. So
you know what?
Yeah, probably not. Are you getting Cyborg?
Oh hell yeah, dude! I got Cyborg. He's gonna be the only Justice League member I have actually, but I'm still getting him.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have any of the others. I thought about getting Nightmare Batman and then the black suit soups. I might still do that, but I don't know.
I got 2 of Cyborg just because I want one that's just the standard, like the Justice League.
Yeah.
But then having another one that can like mix in with, because I mean, I actually have 3 Batflecks, 3 of the Justice League. No, I didn't mean I meant to get 2. But then one of them had like this slight tear on the like barely noticeable, but it was there on the knee. And so I ended up getting a replacement. I just have to get a custom cape for it because they sent me a body, but not the cape. So I actually do have 3 Batflecks. Because I had to have one with and one without the cowl, because the Ben Affleck portrait was just too good that I wanted both displayed. And I've got like the Wonder Woman like training armor, and I've got the 84 ones coming and stuff. So I was like, I can have one that's the main Justice League with Cyborg, and then I can use that other Cyborg maybe to kind of mix in with some other DC releases that are coming up when they do another Flash or Aquaman or something like that. So.
Yeah, bro. The thing is, this was out without hesitation. Was a day one, and it's because
I'm sorry, 9 Mandos. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I said 8. Latoya said 9 Mandos.
9
Landos. Sorry, Landos.
Lando. She said 9.
9.
I hope it's 9. Okay, we gotta talk about that later on. But anyway, yeah, this one right here. I mean, the head sculpt itself is phenomenal. Now, here's the thing. I try not to dive so hard into head sculpts, especially prototypes, because there's always somewhat of a letdown or disappointment once we get, the production photos. So it's like, if they would keep it exactly like this, it would be phenomenal, because like I said, that's Ray Fisher shrunk down in 1/6 scale. Like, that is phenomenal, and I'm hoping that since, we got that Mark I coming with the LED technology, that they actually do the same thing with this figure. Now, I'm not saying that they will, but hopefully they've learned and they would do something like this, because this is phenomenal. And I know this is on everyone's must-have list. Will, I'll go with you first, because like I said, I know that my man Brendan, he's going to give it the finishing touch, how he does. But yeah, Will, what do you think about this figure, bro? I know you said, did you actually have it? What do you think about the anticipation for it? And do you think that Hot Toys, do you think they delivered?
Dude, 100% on everything. Like, this is a figure, and I think I've said, Leia, I was always planning to get this one as long as they released it, but I just knew they weren't going to not release it. After teasing it like that, I never thought he was going to come out to begin with, but after they tease it, I was like, okay, it's definitely happening. They're not going to Shazam us, in other words, because that just wasn't going to happen. But this, phenomenal. It reminds me a lot of kind of like DX13 with the Terminator battle damage, although this one is a battle damage. Because, it's kind of like half a face, half of a machine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of that. But the sculpt, dude, 100%. That's Ray Fisher. This is 100% sculpt. This is one of those Yondus, at least the prototype. This is one of those Yondus, Hellas. Who else has been like a dead-on sculpt? Tarkin, yeah. One of those. Yeah. This is one of those, at least in the proto. One of my favorites actually is Dooku. Dooku's sculpt, dude, perfect. Yes. Perfect.
Dude, Hot Toys really knows how to nail the sculpt on old white men.
They do, dude. And
I don't know
Alec Guinness is perfect also, yeah.
The Force Awakens Han.
Yep.
Is phenomenal.
And Carrie Fisher, old white women too.
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher from Last Jedi is incredible.
I think when there's more detail in a face with wrinkles and blemishes, there are more
They can nail it.
opportunities to add stuff that's accurate and feels real. So yeah, I think basically the more messed up your mug is, the better chance you got at a good portrait.
Yeah.
But dude, for real, honestly, I've heard some people say like, oh, the price. I think the price is perfect. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
$315. That's very fair. Like based on like sometimes Leo, I've sometimes complained about Hot Toys prices, and I will complain when I feel like it's high, it's overpriced. Like I don't feel like this is overpriced though.
Not
even though
at all.
it's not die cast, because a brand new body, like a new sculpt, like the fact that there's so much going on with this figure, like this is not your typical figure that you could just slap on anybody. Like I mean, this is like it's
a whole new design.
It's intricate as hell. I mean, and it looks fantastic. The paint detail, all the LED light up functions, like. Honestly, like I'm super impressed with this. Hot Toys really came through. They deserve so much credit for this. Again, like this is what we want to see. This is innovation from them.
I can't believe the price. I
honestly thought I predicted $325, but honestly that was like
optimistic. Really? I thought it was going to be more.
I thought maybe $375 would be more realistic.
Put it this way: the first batch price that I picked, because I got two. I got one first batch, and then I got one from Underground because I just save a lot of money on the second one. But I thought that the price I ended up paying for first batch, I thought that's what it was going to be based in the U.S.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I thought this was. I thought this was going to be just over 400.
Yeah,
I really did.
And like honestly, it's no doubt with this. This is one of those figures exclusive or bust. I mean, like it really is. The fact that you get a second head sculpt, I mean, you have to get that version. I mean, like. Guys, do whatever you do to get the exclusive. If Sideshow puts a limit on it, or wherever else you're going to get it, like do what you got to do if you want this figure. Don't buy into FOMO, but if you want this figure and you want Cyborg because he looks incredible, which he does to me, then get the exclusive for sure. Because that extra head sculpt, which I will find, is awesome. I'm probably never going to use it, to be honest, but every once in a while I might switch them out. But the Ray Fisher head sculpt is just too good to take off the body. But I think you do want this just in case for the flexibility at all. First,
I'll use it because I got two,
and it's the same price.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's just.
Two head sculpts.
That second sculpt looks really cool too.
It does look great.
Do some really cool stuff. I don't know. I'm really. I really like. I got one of the special edition, and then because I didn't order the second one through Sideshow, so that one is just the regular. But that's fine. I've got one. This one. I know what you said about like not promoting like like FOMO and stuff. I don't think that's to me personally. I don't think FOMO is an issue with this one. To be perfectly honest, just because this is a Hot Toys unicorn. This is like, we did not expect that they were ever going to actually do this because, again, we didn't expect that the Snyder Cut was actually going to happen. And we know that lightning's not going to strike twice. This thing, like, this is it. We're not getting this again.
Right.
So if you even have any interest whatsoever in DC and in the Justice League and in Cyborg, I would not sleep on this figure. Go wherever you want to go, whether you want to get it first or first batch overseas, whether you want to go to Sideshow, whether you want to go to that fine gentleman Marcos at Collector's Zone in the chat, whether you want to go to Underground. Just like I wouldn't sleep on this one because it's gonna go.
Leo, he disappeared now. But so yeah, I totally agree, Brendan. Like this is definitely one I think that you're not. Well, Ray Fisher's not coming back for one. So too, like, and I don't think
they fired him from the Flash movie. Right. He was in the script and they rewrote it. So.
Right. So I mean, I just don't think we're gonna see another Cyborg. The fact that we're getting one at all, like if you do want Cyborg, then jump on this, no doubt about it.
Because I don't think we're gonna see another version of the character too. Because to be honest, with everything all that publicly went down with Ray Fisher, and it's not a situation where they can just recast like they recast, Rhodey and brought in Don Cheadle. It's not gonna. They can't just recast that. There'd be so much backlash, and I don't know what actor would actually want to step into that role, knowing that was what he had in store for him. So yeah, I don't think it's not even like, oh, we'll get another version of him somewhere. I don't think we're gonna see another movie version of Cyborg for a long time, if ever.
Right. Yeah, I would agree. And it's just, I mean, honestly, like I said, I'm not getting any other Justice League members as of now. It just looks incredible. I think this is going to pop on a shelf, even by himself.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
no, does it light up?
It does. It's got
It
like
does.
7 different light up parts. I wish it were kind of USB like the Mark 1 is, but it's not. It's battery powered. So
oh god,
yeah,
I hate those Hot Toys batteries because they're
Yeah.
just so like they die in 10 minutes. Like
Yeah.
literally, that's not an exaggeration.
and
10
I've heard that
minutes.
they'll like sort of leak in your figure. So I mean, it's like I've never
Yeah,
had that happen,
that's
but
that's the other that's the thing that I like about, like, at first when I realized that this 3.0 Bumblebee didn't come with the batteries, I was like, how is it gonna light up but you don't include batteries? But then I was like, you know what? I'm okay with that actually, because I went out and I had to buy like Energizer, like batteries to put in it. But I was like, you know what? I trust the Energizer
That's
batteries
better.
a hell of a lot more than whatever Hot Toys is throwing in, in the box. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably, because it looks so damn cool lit up, I'll probably put them in just for like a little bit, just to shoot some video
Right.
footage and photos, and then take it out, just because I have to at least light it up once. But after that, yeah, I'm probably not going to do that.
There's got to be a better way for Hot Toys in the future to do light up functions, because it's just such a pain. Like some of the Iron Man figures are just so hard to get the batteries, and like you said, they last like 10 minutes. Like it just, there's, like I said, the Mark 1 is perfect. What they're doing with the diecast USB light up, that's amazing. Like that's what it should be for all of them, I feel like. I mean, like, if possible.
I get nervous. Like I don't want to put the lights, the batteries in anything that lights up, because you always feel like whatever you have to do to get them to light up is going to break the figure.
Right.
Like I know so many people who broke like I said, it's the figure that made me just say, I'm not even going to bother with them anymore. I know so many people who broke the arm on their Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan.
Oh,
because
I don't even mess with those light up
could
arms.
not.
Yeah.
And truth be told, the lightsabers don't light up enough
No, not to be worth it.
anyway for it to be worth it. If you're doing photography, then you just Photoshop that, or After Effects if you're doing video. It's not worth it. The Bumblebee, like I said, is a completely different story, because the Energizer battery is way more powerful, much more secure. I trust them a lot more. This one is going to be one of those things where I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to be clenching my cheeks the whole time I'm putting the batteries in this Cyborg, because I don't want to damage it. Yeah, I wish they would do the Mark 1 route and have something that's USB powered.
Right.
There's got to be a way to do that. There has to be a way to do that where, it's plugged into the base or something. And then, I don't know, maybe there's like a connection, like, in the tread of the shoe that connects to the base and, funnel power that way. I don't know, but I really, really wish they would figure it out.
Yeah, I do too, because the light up features bring so much life to the figure, but I never use them because they're just such a pain. The Iron Man figures is especially valuable. I mean, like the Mark 7, Mark 50, whatever, the lights look so cool and they bring us so much life, but it's just not worth taking them in and out. And like, they're just going to die. I mean, it's just not worth it. Because like basically if you have the pose set up, right, then you got to go in, like take all the things off, put the batteries in, then take all the pieces back off just to switch the things back on, the lights on, turn on the switch, then put all the pieces back on, put them back in the pose you had them. It's just like too much trouble. Like if I had a single button I could push on the base or something, turn it on, like that would be legit, right?
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's like you see these promo pics with it completely lit up, and granted, there's in certain ones there's some serious Photoshop work going there, but it's like it's what they're marketing it on. So it's like this is the image that you have in your mind because you're seeing this and you're like, that's what I want on my shelf, and then you get it and you put it on your shelf, and the figure is still great, but you're not getting that just wow factor of the full lighting effects and stuff. Now, granted, you should know full well, like Endgame Thor, you are not getting it to look the way that those promo pics look with the lightning. It ain't happening. But if you can get it a little bit close to that, then that's, cool. But then you get it into your display and then it doesn't really hit the same way. It kind of sucks because you're expecting one thing and you get something else, and looks like Latoya said Lael will be back in a minute.
Okay, so cool, sounds
good. And I wanted to mention it to Lael, so we'll circle back when he gets back. But the portrait on this thing, I'm one of the few people who does not hate the Paul Rudd Ant-Man and the Wasp head sculpt. I don't think I don't use it, but that's one of the reasons why I didn't really care about it too much, because I was like, I was never going to use it anyway. I was always going to use the helmeted version because I just like that better. The thing is that Paul Rudd sculpt is not accurate. It looks like him. It's just a stupid expression on his face. I think it still looks like him. This, though, it's not that just kind of 1,000-yard like stare, that like vacant expression that some Hot Toys have, that you're just like, that doesn't mesh well with like when you put them in a dynamic pose, because it looks like they're kind of asleep with their eyes open. There are some figures where it's just like the look on their face is just so expressionless, so dull. But this isn't that. It's not like a battle cry. It's not a smile like, hey, like this. But it does still look like an intent. It looks like he looked in the movie, not just his facial features, but the expression, that kind of like intense, evaluating type of stare, that, it looks like he's about to like blow something up, but he's like calm before doing it. It really does convey the character. And that's something that they don't always nail perfectly, but I think this one is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it's just an incredible sculpt. You're right. I mean, like, they killed this. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, Hot Toys killed this one, and they deserve so much credit for it. For one, releasing it, and two, knocking it out of the park. I mean, like, this is, no pun intended, by the way, on that one. Knocked it out of the park. That was totally unintended. So, like, but yeah, like, I feel like, this is just incredible. The amount of detail in the body, the face sculpt, the eye. I mean, I don't know how much more we can say, but I actually really like the base. I'm like, they stay consistent with that for all the figures. So if you do have the full Justice League lineup, you're going to be able to complete it now, and they're going to look really cool with all these bases. I have heard they don't fit in a DTOF though. Like
they don't.
Yeah,
they don't.
So
as much as people like really did not like those bases, it was a smart move for Hot Toys to stick with it, because I think people would have been more pissed off if then they didn't have something that matched, because then you don't have, now it's like your display, you have all these other ones. Now you don't have that one. So as much as I was not a fan of the base, it makes sense for them to use it again in this one.
Yeah, for sure. And like, it's so interesting though. Like, I am seeing like some people saying they agree with your Ant-Man thing. I don't have that one in hand. I just think that sculpt is probably the worst sculpt I've ever seen from Hot Toys. Like, I don't think it looks like Paul Rudd. I think it's creepy as hell.
See, I think it looks I think if you find some pictures of him that like with like a goofy smile, honestly, I think that's if he did that, I think that would be exactly how he looks. But hey, people can not like that sculpt, or they can love it. I'm totally fine with either way. I personally, like I said, I wouldn't use it, but I think it looks like him. It's just a really goofy expression, and it was just so far removed from what the norm is with Hot Toys. I think that it was jarring that they did that, but I was kind of happy that they did it. Again, I'm not going to use it, but I like that they at least tried something new. They failed. Not in accuracy, in my opinion, but just in its appeal and whether or not people were really going to like it, whether or not it would fit in your collection. I think that it was a swing and a miss, but I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad, keep going with the baseball. I'm glad that they swung. I'm glad they didn't just, strike out looking. At least they tried, because people constantly complain about like dull expressions on head sculpts. They always want give us a second head sculpt with like a battle cry or battle damage or something like that. They tried something here. It wasn't a big success, but at least they tried it. So that innovation, because a lot of people will get bored with, Hot Toys is doing the same thing over and over again. Well, I mean, they didn't do the same thing over and over again with this one. They didn't necessarily win a lot of fans because of it, but at least it was something. It was an attempt at innovation. So I give them credit for that. The head sculpts. This is the other thing that, and Lael and I were talking about it, and we'll definitely get into that again at some point soon too. It's the head sculpts. Oh, he just messaged me right now. The head sculpts are one thing people have to understand, because you see like third parties that will recast, a Hot Toys head sculpt, and then they'll paint it and then put it out. They never look as good as the Hot Toys one. It's because the paint work, people underestimate the paint work, the JC Hongs, that's what really brings those sculpts to life. The sculpts are great, but it's the paint work that really, really brings them to life. And so a third party will like recast a Hot Toys sculpt, but then the paint work, you're like, it's not the same. It's not the same quality. And so Hot Toys really, I don't think, gets enough credit for the master painters that they have with these sculpts. And then that's one of the things that kind of translates to like statues too. Because I know you're a big statue collector.
Yeah.
I have a handful of statues that I love, but there's a difference. And I think this kind of separates some companies too. Like take Sideshow's statues and take, a Queen Studios or, Prime One. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Sideshow has some really, really cool statues. I've got a bunch of them. The Mythos ones by the Kucharik brothers. Absolutely love those. But they're like different. They're not typical human skin tones and textures. They're like, black and red or this like blue gray or something like that. But then I have the Daredevil Sideshow pieces. I have the standard one, and then I have the Shadowlands variant, and they look great. But the actual flesh tones are much flatter. They don't have as much detail. They don't like bring you in as much as like the paint jobs on like Hot Toys or on other statue companies. And it's okay with those because it's like, well, this is a comic book interpretation. It's not like an actor likeness that we've seen their actual real life face, and we want those details and stuff. So you see, differences between how they execute those, and you realize that the paint work on these sculpts and on statues too really, really make a massive difference and pull you into them a lot more. And that's one of the reasons why I think that this sculpt really, really works.
Right.
Again, we'll see what the final product looks like, but I think Hot Toys has been doing a damn good job with sculpts, so I'm not too worried about this one not being as good as the prototypes when it actually drops. I mean, we'll have a long time before we know that for certain, but
yeah,
I'm not skeptical. They've earned my leeway with me to hopefully, have it be the right thing in the end.
And Brendan, I wanted to ask you too, this is separate from Cyborg while we're waiting for Lael to hop on any second, like if we have enough time, those modu cases behind you. So those, dude, those, I've been looking at those. So the people out there who haven't seen modu cases, these are really cool. Brendan was actually telling me the build process is not as bad as people would think it is at first.
The assembly? No, it's so they're directions that they don't really give you directions in the box. It's like they give you like a link on their website to go to.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little confusing at first. They're not the best. What you have to realize first is that no matter what model of modu case you order, it's all the same assembly system. It's all the exact same rail system. Right. And it's basically just figuring out the order that you do the things in, but I put this side on first, then I put this side on, then I bring these two up. It's really not difficult at all once you realize what goes into the rail system, and you like just logically like you figure out the order of it, then you go through them fast. Right. Like the first one or two that I put together, it was like, oh, wait a minute, shit, I did that in the wrong order, so now I gotta loosen this piece and then tighten that one and then put that one back in. Once I did that, then the next ones after that went really, really fast.
Gotcha.
And even with that, they're a hell of a lot easier, especially if you're solo, they're a hell of a lot easier than assembling a detolf by yourself. When you're like trying to like wedge the glass in,
I've done
and,
several
like,
of those.
Hold this up and now let me do this.
Dude, holding it by yourself, putting a detolf together by yourself is so difficult.
Oh god,
because you got to hold the glass and then like put them together. Yeah, if you have two people, it's so much easier.
And then you have to Windex that whole thing because you're just like you've got
touching
that so nasty at that point, fingerprints and
Oh, there's Leo.
There he is. Hey, I'm right there with you, man. I had to switch my whole setup. That's why.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it I don't know what it was. Like it was freezing up a little bit, and I felt as though, you know what? Let me actually go in and just plug the Ethernet cable in just to see if it works. But yeah, I don't know. I'm back. Sorry. I was listening to everything. I was, you guys were making some very interesting points. But yeah, sorry about that. Let's continue. Y'all were talking about what module cases. Let's go.
Module cases, yeah, because I'm thinking about getting some layout. So
stop thinking, just pull the trigger.
I'm definitely going to get some. It's just a matter. I'm trying to figure out what I need.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So see, that's something. Yes. Take your time and figure out what you want so you get it right. Here's the thing. I know a bunch of people in different Facebook groups that they ordered like one little, not little, but like one shelf or one kind of case, right? To see if they like it, and then get more, right? But then with the lead times now, because they do take a long time, they were kicking themselves because it's like, damn it, I just I only ordered one and I got it and I love it, but now I'm gonna have to wait like 8 months for like more to come in. Just like figure out what you want for your whole display and order a bunch right then and there. Yeah. You can order them. I think Sideshow has like certain units on their website. You can order them direct from Moducase. I know that Marcos at Collector's Own just put some up for pre-order on the Collector's Own website, so you can jump on there if you're interested. And I think they're like due to come in at the end of the year. I've got my whole Marvel collection in Moducases, and then my Star Wars and some like miscellaneous Assassin's Creed, Zorro, Hellboy, whatnot. Those are in Detolfs, but I have another set of Moducases coming in August, and so then all of that will be swapped out. I'm just moving away from Detolfs, and then eventually I'll get to like the DC portion of my collection in the other room. But I mean, I know people complain about like the price for Moducase, but here's the thing. I mean, if you've amassed over the years a collection that's valued at like 30-40 grand, okay, spending $1,000 or $2,000 to put that in beautiful cases that you're gonna then really appreciate and enjoy your collection, it makes total sense to me. Like I know it. When you just isolate the price, it's a lot, but when you think about what you're putting in it, I told Lael when I first got the Moducases, it was like I was seeing my collection for the first time.
Hold up. Let me stop you right there. So that's not how the conversation went. So this is how we're going to actually do this, okay? Yeah, all shit, because you're walking to a pile of it right now. So this is how the conversation went. Let's flash back to, when was it? I think it was last year. Was it July of 2020 or no? It probably was March, maybe, or something like that of 2020. I had no interest in Moducases. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was fine with my lovely Detolfs that I have in the back here. Now, mind you, he's an enabler. I'm going to tell you how this works. So this is what he did. He doesn't just actually tell me about the Moducases. He sends me a link and then he tells me, yes, they're on sale. Oh yeah, like listen, bro, I think that you might want to check these out. There's a great deal going on right now. I'm about to get some. And then he just went into this whole spiel about spacing and how he was making a transition from Detolfs to Moducases. And I'm sitting up there like this going, and I'm looking at my phone. And mind you, we hadn't had a conversation on the phone. We were just messaging. And I'm looking at my phone. I was like, this son of a bitch is about to try to sway me into getting Moducases. This is not going to work. Let's flash forward to now. Moducase is sitting right over there, and it worked. And I'm thinking about getting more. And the thing is, what the thing is about Moducases, especially for those, they're awesome. Number one, but for those of you who basically have, like, for instance, if you have that tumbler on order, it's going to look,
or the bat pod coming.
Exactly.
Speeder
it's
bikes.
Gonna look phenomenal. And I actually have, shout out to Jazz Inc. for everybody who doesn't have, if you're not subscribed to Jazz Inc. is killing it right now. I have the Ray Speeder on order, and I actually paid for it. It's ready to come. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous piece. So whoever actually wants to get it, you waited for Sides or Hot Toys to release it. They didn't do it. You can get one now. You log on to Jazz Inc. Not only does he have that, he's actually bringing out the now where we will have Vulture. I mean, what was it? Is it
the name
from what's the name
Far
of it
From
now?
Home
of the movie Homecoming?
From Homecoming, but
sorry,
the version that he actually released, I think he calls it a different names, but you will have his version of Vulture from Homecoming.
I saw that. It looks great.
And it looks phenomenal. So
It's
that you can actually get on order right now if you don't already
You're
have.
going to have 5 of the Sinister Six at that point.
Exactly, 5, and all we need is one more. As a matter of fact, if you're getting the classic suit Spider-Man from Hot Toys, then that diorama already comes with the scorpion tail. You can use him.
Yep.
Now, we should have Sandman. We probably won't, but if you actually have the Spider-Man 3 version that came with the Sandman diorama, then you're good to go right there. But check it out. It's phenomenal. Anyway,
it would have been good if Hot Toys had given the sand elemental from Far From Home as a base, like they did with the Molten Man. Because if they did that, then you could have at least used that base in the display with the others, and technically you could have fudged it and been like, "That's a Sinister Six."
Exactly, you could have.
Yeah, that was it.
Telling you,
if you like, I don't care if you hate the sequel trilogy. This thing, that's Ray Speeder is just, it's art. It is so beautifully crafted that you have to at least look at it and consider it. It's gorgeous.
It is. It's definitely. What I'm saying is, if you have those pieces on order and you're looking for space, Module Cases is perfect for it. It's perfect spacing. I know a lot of people stick to museum poses. I don't. I stay as far away from museum poses as I can. But if you want to create certain scenes, the Module Cases do give you space to do so. Like, it's phenomenal. Like, it's a no-brainer to basically have that. If you want it, definitely pull the trigger on it. Now, listen, I'm not here to be an enabler like Mr. Enabler 4000. Well, I'm not here for that.
5,000. Give me all the credit. 5,000.
5,000. I'm not here for that. But I'm telling you, like, just if you want to bang for your buck for spacing and stuff like that, it is a bit expensive. But at the same time, I think that in the long run, it is quality. So I think it's something that most definitely you want to.
Don't you love how he says, "I'm not an enabler," but in the very next breath, he's like, "Get a Module Case and get the Ray Speeder and get the Vulture."
But they do have like custom ones they can build if you talk to the owner. And then, like I said, Comic Concepts has them. Josh is great. He'll take good care of you. I've bought from him a lot. So I mean, I'm gonna get some, Brendan. I'm just considering what I need to get. So I want to do like maybe one big purchase, but it's a lot of money to drop too. So I want to be careful.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yeah. Well, a couple things with that. You can do you can put down like a 50% deposit and then do something like Affirm, like where you can just make monthly payments. Like you get approved for a certain amount and then you just pay it with that. And then you just pay Affirm monthly, so that by the time it actually ships, you've got it paid off. Like there are ways. It is expensive, but there are ways that you can afford it financially if you plan. But one of the things that I will say about Module Case that I think really people need to understand is the quality of the lights that come with them. Okay, lighting is everything when it comes to, like, in my business, what I do in video, photography, just in your displays. Okay, now we all laughed, at the just shameless plugs of those stupid pedestals during Sideshow Con, okay? But one of the things that I will say is, and them talking about like the lighting and stuff like that, but there was that black suit Spider-Man statue that by itself just kind of was like, okay, it wasn't really capturing me. And then when they did turn the lights on and had that kind of like purplish light coming up, it really brought the statue to life. Again, I'm not like crediting the pedestals and those lights. I'm just saying lighting in general is so important. And I've had all manner of lights when I was like swapping them out in Detolfs and stuff. The light strips that you get that come with the Module Case, I have never seen better, more color accurate lights for any collection display before. And I work with like professional lights. I know like what I'm talking about with those things. Their lights are gorgeous, and that's what really, really brings your whole display to life. So I can't stress that enough. That is a big, big selling point for Module Cases.
Yeah.
So, Will, are you going to get them yet?
I'm probably going to get them layout. I'm just trying to, I still got to research, man. I've actually been doing measuring. I have this closet in here where I have like a bunch of my statues, and I want to get, because I have like a lot of big pieces coming. Like I told you guys, I have Prime 1 Sauron, I have Kratos and Atreus and Baldur. So they're going to be a diorama. Kratos
Plus,
and
Atreus and whatever
fighting.
Prime 1 does with Naughty Dog, where that's going to be...
Right. I'm getting that. Like, that's at least Joel and Ellie, probably like a clicker or something too. So, I mean, like, and I got Night King on order, Brendan. So, I mean, like, nice. Prime 1 Night King. So, I think they're
going to do like a big, like, bust of like a clicker or something.
That would be tempting.
Like, a life-size bust would be insane, but I think at the very least, I think they'll do like a 3rd scale bust.
I'd be down.
Of a clicker or a bloater.
Because minimum they're doing Joel and Ellie from part 1, and minimum they're doing Ellie from part 2. So like, and maybe Abby, but I just don't think they're gonna do her. But I don't know. They might.
DX with the golf club.
I know, right? That's probably what it would be, honestly.
Maybe some of Joel's hair stuck to it.
I know, it'd be terrible. But salt in the wound. Love it. But like, I'm probably gonna get the Jon Snow too. But like I also the Iron Studios Mando should be coming soon. I have that on order, and I have the Queen Studios Iron Man Mark 7. So like,
which Iron Studios Mando?
What quarter scale?
Okay. So did you get Did you order the quarter scale hot toy?
No, because I have the quarter scale statue, so I'm just trying to limit that. And like I think I told everyone before, like what really helps for me, I keep all my pre-orders in an Excel doc, so I track everything I pre-ordered over the next 2 years.
I'm not Excel because I hate Excel, but I do have a doc where I keep track of all of my
because otherwise,
pre-orders
trust me, guys, that's just one tip I really like, because you can definitely lose track of everything, and like you can look at like, wow, I have so much money tied up in pre-orders. So like I canceled a bunch when I did that. Like I was like, oh, I could cut this, trim some of the fat. But
it's easier to just visualize it and be like, oh, you know what, I can live without this one, this one, and this one, and that makes the room for the other one.
Right, because I have J&D Joker, Heath Ledger on pre-order, so that's most anticipated, no doubt. So I really want to get a nice Modular case or something to put that in.
I feel like there should be like a whole stream on just like at some point in the future, just how people kind of like approach collecting from a planning and like finances standpoint. Because
that would be good.
The thing is, it's like I have probably most of the figures that I'm going to get through the middle of next year already paid off. And it's not because I'm, just like throwing dollar bills everywhere.
None of us are rich
stuff.
here. Let's say that.
It's just because I like plan how I'm going to do that. And whether you're like doing payment plans, like, like Toys Wonderland uses like partially, and then others use different things, or you're, or you're doing, just like have a separate like savings account or something and be like, these are all the pre-orders that I have. I'm putting $15 a month for each one into that. And then it's there. So break glass in case of emergency and you need funds out of it, but otherwise it's there for your hot toys and your collectibles and whatnot. But I think that's something that because I mean, I see so many things in the, in the Facebook groups are like, how do you guys afford all of these things? They're like crazy. Now, granted, I think most of that, usually it's like, like a 17-year-old kid who's just kind of like getting into the hobby. I think most people, otherwise they figure out how to manage those things. But like, it made it so much easier for me when I had a doc where it was like, these are all the things that I've pre-ordered. These are all the things I have on payment plans, and then this is how much is left on each one.
Yep.
And this is when each one charges every month.
Yep.
And then these are the ones that I haven't pre-ordered yet, but I will likely get. So, and then you can just kind of visualize and just plan a little bit better. Plus the release windows, knowing when they're all coming.
That's what I have too.
Like not knowing when they're all coming, because we never know when they're coming, but just you have an idea.
Yeah. Right.
I was looking through my doc actually earlier. I don't know if you do this, but like I keep track of like when they actually get delivered too, just so I can look back. I realized, so I've added about like 25 6 scales to my collection in 2021. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. 19
of them are hot toys. Like the other 6 were either third party Sideshow, or like, like 3-0 or something, but 19 hot toys this year, but 12 of them were just between 2 months. So we're almost in August now. So we've got almost like a full 7 months of the year. And I had like 5 in January and 7 in July. All that dead space in between. It's like, I don't understand the cadence that like what was going on with hot toys with these, because you think, oh, like 19 hot toys, like that's a lot. And yeah, it is. I'm not saying it's not, but like the fact that it was so spread out, and it's like, well, January, and then like 6-7 months later, a bunch in that one. And the ones in January, a lot of those were the ones that were released at the end of 2020 and then just took a while to get to me. So like that was a big gap. I mean, we all kind of felt like, oh man, like Hot Toys, like release something. Like, you know, I was, and looking at that doc today, I was like, yeah, like 60-70% of the stuff that I got came in either January or July. And then there was just all this like dead space in between while we were just like waiting for them to put something out. And then you're in trouble because you start going and like hunting down the grails or things that you don't have. And, you know, then you start spending money on those. But yeah, it's been a weird year, like the cadence that Hot Toys had. It's
been a weird year, and the simple fact that now it's like, you know, this is all right. Here's, and I don't know if anyone feels this way, but I kind of have I got a few predictions here before we close out. I got a few predictions here because I'm seeing a pattern. So I think, in my opinion, that Rex will be moved up. I don't think that, because I think Rex will be moved up. I think that also the classic suit Spider-Man will be moved up. Definitely, because you said that, Brendan.
100%. I already told you that one is. I'll tell everybody why in a sec. But yeah, go
exactly. On. I think that also we will probably see the Clone Wars Ahsoka, or we will probably see even the Clone Wars Darth Maul, and I think that there's going to be exclusive release of the Loki body type with the Will Foxification head sculpt. With it, and it's going to be a Hot Toys fall exclusive. So just get your banks ready, get your pocketbooks.
I know a few people in the chat who might get that.
Was Bill Foxification Jr.? He might.
Yeah, Bill Wolfification or something.
Wolfification. Yeah, he might.
Yeah.
I agree with what you said though. I think that they're gonna time Rex and Ahsoka fairly close together.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be like a 1-2 punch. I don't know about Maul, just because they've put so many of Maul out, and I think the hype really is more around Rex and Ahsoka, especially with Maul being like single jointed arms versus, you know, the other versions that we've had. But I do agree with you. I think those two are going to be a 1-2 punch sometime in the fall. The reason it was, and you mentioned it, Lael, and I had said this to you a while back, the reason why I think we're going to get the classic suit Spidey very soon is, I mean, the Mark IV spider armor came out really, really early, like months and months ahead of when it was supposed to. If I remember correctly, I think the anti-ox suit was supposed to come out like January, March,
supposed to be later.
March of 2022.
Right.
Yeah,
that one came out super early. And we've already seen the Cyborg Spider-Man for the Toy Fair exclusive, which I will be getting. That's the classic suit, just with a different arm and some accessories put over it. But that's the classic suit. They've already got it. And I think with those other two that came out literally like 6 to 8 months before they were scheduled to release, which Hot Toys doesn't do that often. And then with the fact that the Cyborg one shows that they've already got the base classic suit ready to go, I think we're going to get that sooner because they're going to want to then shift to the Miles ones, because those are going to start coming out at the beginning of 2022. We'll have like Into the Spider-Verse hopefully before the end of this year, but then the PS5 Miles game, those releases are going to come in early 2022. So I think they're going to push out the PS4 Peter ones to finish that line, because the only other one that they've ever teased that we didn't see, that they didn't actually make, was the Velocity suit, which people were kind of lukewarm on responding to that anyway. So I do think we're going to get that that classic Spidey soon. And then they'll shift to Miles, which is good. Let Miles shine. Give him some time. They better put out that tracksuit. That tracksuit is my number one from that game, so I really want that. But yeah, I think we're going to see Rex and Ahsoka as a 1-2, and I think that we'll see Spider-Man before the end of this year.
Yeah. Will, let me ask you this question before we clear up, because like I said, this is interesting too, considering the simple fact that we've gotten the success of the show, and and the simple fact that we did get a preview, which that and Will, maybe you can. What is your take? Because we did actually get a leak, or not a leak, but they showed us pictures of, both Loki and Sylvie. Just slight pictures of that. Why do you think we didn't see them? Why do you think that we didn't get those releases? Like, what's going on?
It's weird. It's definitely unique. I feel like just from what I've seen from being in the Hot Toys game for at least several years now. I mean, sometimes they'll tease a figure like, Shazam and then never release it. But Loki and Sylvie, they're definitely going to make. I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, they make from every Marvel show at least one or two figures.
It's the only Marvel show that they didn't put any
right
release
away.
Out. Yeah, like either during
maybe Marvel
it or
just
right
didn't
at the
give
end.
them that much info ahead of time. Maybe. But I honestly thought, Brendan, too, like, I'm actually a little surprised that Loki stayed in the suit the whole movie, the whole show. Like, I mean, I thought he was going to have, I thought he was going to have like a Loki suit. Like, I thought he was going to have like a new costume, basically, and he never did. So, like,
maybe
I was surprised by that.
Maybe that's
for the movie.
Why we're not really seeing anything come out of it as quickly, like, as we did with the, because I didn't even really think about that, but like, as much as I loved the show, I don't know if I would buy a Loki figure that just has him with the variant jacket, like when it says variant on his back.
You know how much I love Loki. I kind of am in the same boat. Like, I mean, I love Loki and I want every Loki, but that costume just doesn't really.
And then there was like the president one with like the pin, the button, and
they
stuff.
Might make that. I don't know.
But that also was. It was another variant. It wasn't actually the Loki that we were thinking, and that was going to be like, I thought that might actually have more of a big storyline in the show, and it turned out it was just kind of a one and done.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think. I mean, Sylvie absolutely. Even in just a suit, if they did an Owen Wilson Morbius, I would. Or Mobius, I would totally get that just because that's hilarious. That's great.
Mobius is cool. I don't think they'll make him, but I would.
I don't think they will either. If they did was it Richard E. Grant as like the old
classic Loki?
I would do that.
I think people would be on that one.
I would I would definitely do that. But yeah, it's weird though that it was the only show that on Disney Plus so far that didn't get any releases.
Like and on time basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that is weird, but I didn't really think about it until just now. But yeah, it's like. There was no new Loki look. There was no new Loki suit. We had Sylvie, which I definitely want to get one of her.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird though that we didn't get anything out of it.
It's crazy because they teased them both. Now, which make
it's coming soon probably.
My original question though, Will,
especially with the second season, yeah.
Will, do you think that we will get and we will see the Avengers? One in Avengers Endgame Loki version, do you think that we'll basically see that sooner?
The 2012 one.
I think that's coming probably soon because they're trying to get this Endgame line finished out. So I mean, like that's one of the last ones. They got that and Captain Marvel, and then
Iron Patriot.
Yeah, so but
there's actually still a fair number from Endgame. I didn't realize it.
Yeah,
there's
at least
Captain
3.
Marvel, Hulk.
Yeah,
Iron Patriot,
and Iron Man Battle Damage, Mark 85.
Battle Damage and Battle Damage Thanos.
Yep.
So
probably 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't, and then 2012 Cap, 2012 Loki. So you're looking at least 7.
7, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
for
that's
a
crazy.
movie that came out
like 2 years ago. Yeah,
2+ years ago. 7 figures outstanding from that and the fact that we just got Thor, which by the way, Lael, I know you said you don't like. To rock museum poses. Good luck trying to get a dynamic pose with that. Bro, I love the figure. It looks gorgeous, but it is not a highly posable figure. That's one where it's like, I like it though, because I think in a hero like museum kind of pose, it works for that figure, but you're not getting very dynamic with that.
But you asked a really good question, Layout. I'm surprised they did it that way, to be honest. But I would say Loki and Sylvie, you're probably going to see a pre-order come up in the next month or two. I think that's.
You think so?
They don't want to wait too long. Yeah, they don't want to wait too long because the show, they don't want the hype to die down. I mean, it's already kind of died down, but the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get. So and I do agree that I don't think either of those figures are going to be super hot sellers. I think they're going to be okay because Loki, like you said, Brendan, I think Loki's outfit, it's not going to appeal to a lot of people. I think it's people love Loki, but if it were a brand new Avengers type outfit for Loki, I think people would be on it. But I think, or even Dark World or Ragnarok, whatever. But it's not really a true Loki suit, So it's it's kind of more like a one-off, but I don't know. I'm probably still going to get them both, but we'll see. I'm going to look at the head sculpts and decide from there, but I think they're going to release them. Endgame Loki, you know, Leo, I cannot wait. That cannot come soon enough. I mean, Endgame Loki.
I can't wait for that one.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
because
like probably my most anticipated hot toy. That and Pennywise. Pennywise.
Oh,
too.
God.
Dude, I'm probably getting 2 Pennywises. Yeah, I'm going to get
Two?
Yeah, because
Oh,
he has
God.
2 heads. Like he has one with like the teeth and one with him smiling, and I kind of want to display both. And he has a bunch of accessories.
Yeah.
So I
You're
kinda
gonna
wanna
have
give both.
2 Pennywises in your. You're
And
never
I got the
get laid
prime one.
again.
I got the prime one.
This is,
Hey,
no woman
wait.
is gonna want to come into that house, man.
Hey, you'd be surprised,
Oh
Brendan.
no.
Lael knows. Lael knows the truth. Tell him, Lael.
Yo, I told
Any
you.
woman that does want to come in, I'd be worried that you're gonna end up like a skin lampshade or something. Oh man, no, you don't.
Not for me.
Wow.
But what you did say about the Loki and Sylvie and stuff, I do think that because they're much simpler type figures, outfits and stuff like that. I do think that they'll at least be on the cheaper side. I feel like in that like 225 to 245 range,
Mhm.
which it sucks that we'd say that that's the cheaper range for Hot Toys, but it is. But yeah, I think that those will be at least a little bit more affordable than some others. But that 2012 Loki, I can't wait for because I want an OG like Avengers display. I have the Avengers Hulk. And then I have the Mark 7, and I need to pick up like an older Hawkeye. And I've got like the Civil War Black Widow, because I don't want to get that hot mess of an Avengers 2012 Black Widow. But then I've got like a Thor from the Dark World or Age of Ultron. I'm trying to put together as close to the accurate, original 6 as I can. And that 2012 Cap and then the 2012 Loki, I want to redo that scene of like, with Loki down at the end, in Avengers Stark Tower or whatever. And he's like, I'll take that drink now. I want to have them kind of all like above him laying down. So yeah, I want to do that one. And so those 2, when they come out, that's like, those are key to my display. So I'm looking forward. I think a lot of people are looking forward to those because that way people who weren't in collecting earlier on get a chance to get that OG Avengers setup. And be able to do that. So I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah. We got a lot. That's what I'm saying. We got a lot coming. Listen, everybody in the chat, we got a lot coming. So I hope your wallets. And the thing is, it's like, if you think about it, between now and even like the holidays, I hope you've already gone out and got your Christmas shopping for everybody else out the way, because
so you just focus on your collection.
So you can focus on your collections, because that's going to be a hard thing. And I think, the next chat or the next live stream that we're going to have, like I said, we will discuss, pretty much how, finances, how we can basically, what ways that we utilize the budget between figures, everyday living, stuff like that. And because I think there's certain ways, even for like the new collectors who don't really understand how to really budget, how this process works when it comes to pre-ordering. It's not that you have to buy the figure up front. I mean, you can pay over time and it pays itself off. So there are methods and ways that you can actually do it. So we'll probably have that discussion later on. Listen, tonight has been, for the first live stream, it has been fun. It had a few hiccups, but I guarantee you next week we will basically have everything in order. We'll actually get the chat organized. I'll have the chat screening across. I'll be able to answer all your questions. I think next week what I'm gonna do also is we're gonna pick 3 questions from the chat that you want to answer. You can pick 3 of any questions, especially when it comes to collecting or even movies itself. We got the resident movie buff in here, Will Foxification. He's always on top of that. So yeah, like we'll probably actually put that in here as well. But thanks everybody for actually chiming in and joining for the first stream. I do honestly appreciate that. I want to actually, because I can't really see it, but I'm just going to go around. Shout out to Niculio the Great. Shout out to Brenton. Shout out to Doc Smizzle, of course. I Am Legend. We have the Collector. We have Collector Zone in here as well. Single songwriter. Pretty much. Let's see here. I know my daughter was in here, so shout out to her. Definitely. Collector Zone. I said that already.
Terry.
Terry Smith, thank you for coming through, man. I really appreciate that for my first live stream. I do appreciate that. Amelia Lopez, definitely shout out to you. Everybody, if I did miss you, definitely I'll get back through next weekend. We'll mention everybody else that comes through. But again, before we go, Will, you got anything coming up, man, on your channel? Anything that we need to look forward to?
Dude, yeah, I'm going to be doing some reviews here shortly.
Okay.
I saw a couple films, Leo, like I convinced you to go see Old. That was pretty good,
Oh,
I thought.
Old
was good.
Was it? Everybody's
yes,
been everything I've been hearing is that it's horrible.
It was very solid. I really enjoyed it.
Really,
it's solid,
good?
bro.
Good?
You got to see it for yourself, because the thing is, if you know M. Night, then you'll know what to really expect.
Yeah.
You go into it with very low expectations, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. Trust me.
Yep.
Okay.
And I saw Green Knight. That was pretty solid.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Dev Patel is awesome. Yeah, I'm looking.
Yes.
I want to check that one out.
it's pretty
Yes.
weird and out there, but A24 they pretty much always deliver. So,
So
I mean,
you didn't see Snake Eyes yet?
nope. I want to though.
Okay.
I want to see it.
I've
'cause
heard
just
so many
bad
mixed things
but
that
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't look good to me, but I want it to be. So
the trailer looked
Yeah.
great to me, but then I've just heard bad things. Yeah, I thought so, but I don't really know much about G.I. Joe. So I mean,
it wasn't even about like the origins or the history in G.I. Joe and being accurate. It was more like all the trailer was just some explosion or a fight, and then just this like constipated look on the face of the main actor, like whatever his name. He's just always like this every time. There was no, I don't know. I didn't get any actual acting from him in the trailers, so I was kind of like, oh, is he not very good? And they're just not really showing a lot of range in the trailer.
I think he's a good actor. I forget the guy's name.
I haven't seen him in stuff, so I honestly don't know. I hope he's good.
I forget other stuff. He was in what was it? The Matthew McConaughey movie, The Gentleman or whatever it was. He was in that, something like that. That was a really good film. But yeah, stuff like that. But Leo, yeah, that's what I have coming up. So I'm probably gonna review those.
Oh wait, the Guy Ritchie one.
Yep, that's it.
Wait, I love that movie. I didn't know he was in that one.
Yeah, he plays.
Yes.
What's the guy's name? The character.
I forget the name.
Because that's a great movie.
Yeah,
it
it's really
is.
good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The cast is fantastic.
Well, you just gave me an excuse to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah,
Because
really
I don't remember who he was in that movie, but I love that movie. So absolutely, that's a really good movie.
Yeah, and Leo, I'm gonna, PJ convinced me to do PJ the Paradox Nerd, one of our best bros. He loves feet, by the way. Like,
man, I just threw up in my mouth.
Brendan, he convinced me to do live unboxings for some of the stuff I'm going to be getting. So I'm probably going to be doing Iron Studios Mando, even though he already did it. I might do it as well. The Prime One Piece is for sure. Leo, you'll probably be on for those. So
yes.
I want to do live unboxings for those when those start coming in. So Sauron should hopefully start coming out soon, but
I think so. Yeah, I definitely want to see. I want to see that unboxing for the Iron Studios Mando. That's what I was asking you about before. Is just because with Iron Studios Mando and like I pre-ordered the quarter scale Mando from Hot Toys, but now I'm seeing that and I'm wishing that it was with like the chrome finish for the 6 scale that they announced, because the chrome piece, that chest piece that comes with the armorer, you look at it and I'm like, oh wow, that looks so much better than the season 1 Beskar. Like, because I wasn't going to get the chrome one, and now I'm kind of thinking about it because it just looks so good, and I just wish that quarter scale was that chrome finish.
See. So on to that, Brandon, let me ask you, so what do you got? Oh, I know what you got coming up. You're going to be enabling pretty much everybody in chat, probably more so me. Next week, you'll be back on the show, and we'll basically have like a couple of chats going on. So yeah, I know that's what you pretty much have going on, enabling. So I can almost imagine, like, maybe possibly tomorrow there's going to be either a third-party release, or there's going to be a new piece coming up, or you're going to try to convince me to get another module case, or you're going to probably try to tap into that's not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen.
Dude, this thing is amazing.
Nope,
it's
because
so good.
I have already pre-ordered that Voltron. Oh my God, if people haven't gotten that Voltron, man.
Oh, see, this, because then in a couple of months, Optimus comes out.
Nope, I'm not going to do that. So we can just dismiss that anyway. So we already know what's going on. Anyway, we will see you guys here next week. Hopefully, I'm hoping, Will, you did such a good job, man. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah,
and coming through, man. Brendan, always, you already know, co-host. You're going to be here next week. So we will be here next week. I'm probably I don't know if we might change the day from Friday to another day where it's not so convoluted with streams. I know there's a lot going on tonight, so I'll pick a day. We'll see when everybody is good, but I'll leave it up to the chat. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself tonight. We will be back next week. Again, shout out to everybody. I actually will have 2 videos coming out this weekend. One is the review I did on Hellboy. Actually 3. The one I did the review on Hellboy. It's an amazing figure. Also my review on Mysterio, and also another Take Your Position. And I actually there's going to be 2 Take Your Position videos coming out this weekend. One was with the Ray Rise of Skywalker figure, and the other one was Hellboy. I did choose Hellboy to kind of dive into, because like I said, it's such a phenomenal figure. I didn't want to hold back on that. So those will be coming out this weekend. So again, as always, from the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube page, I appreciate y'all for coming on. This is Say What, or no, what was it? Say what?
Say what?
You know what I mean? So basically, we will be back next week. Same time, probably around 9-10. I'll figure out the day and we'll kind of work that in. Everything will be working. Chat will be working. Hopefully we'll have an intro video next week. But again, for the first live chat, I do appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming through. Thanks my guys, my boys, my brothers for coming through. And we will see y'all next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. As always, I'm telling you, if you collect, and remember, as always, look, you have a choice. You don't have to collect. You collect what you want, collect from who you want to. And don't basically, frown on anybody else who chooses to basically collect from a reseller, or if you want to actually collect from some of the big businesses out here. We're all in this together. We're all collectors. So look, just collect and love collecting. Let's get back to the golden age of collecting, when you got a piece and you loved it and you shared it with your friends and you weren't enabled like Brendan does. Anyway, we will see you basically next week on this show. This is Say What, Lael Rockwell here for Will Foxification, Brendan, aka the Enabler, signing off. See y'all guys later.